Welcome to the Occult Rejects. We are two former secret society members who were determined to show the public the truth that occultism has been purposely integrated into every aspect of society, from politics to music, Hollywood, and science. This is used to manipulate the public as a whole and to protect the fake elite. The symbols are used all around us to affect world events and public perception, our behavior, and even our future. We will translate the occult so that you have eyes to see. We reject their agenda to give you the tools to save yourself.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Occult Rejects with your hosts Lux
and the MY Patriot.
And also we have one Sean McCann with us today, and also Theresa as well. So going to be talking about some different crazy symbolism in hip-hop and clothing. Just wanted to get everybody together, pick a different like an artist, and present it for the audience. So hope everybody enjoys. Welcome on, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Fuck yeah. Yes. Finally made it happen. Real quick, Sean, do you want to plug your stuff? I mean, again, like
Sure.
I say this all the time, if you've listened to the Occult Rejects and then the MY Patriot show and you don't know who the fuck this guy is already, I find it hard to believe, but just in case you don't, Sean, and I'm pretty sure he's the top guest we've had on our show and my show most times.
Been a lot of
shows. So
and I think you've been on my show like more than everybody else too. So it's pretty good. We're good friends, and
yes.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, and let everybody know your stuff too.
Right on. Yeah, my show. I have a podcast and a video podcast called Wake the Dead, and you can find that on Spotify, Apple, Google, the major podcast places, and you can find the videos at Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble, and you can find I post everything I do at onegreatworknetwork.com/Sean.McCann, or maybe Sean-McCann, I think. Anyway, go to onegreatworknetwork.com and look in the creators section, and you'll find my name. Click there, and you'll see everything I post. And I also do designs of I graphic design for T-shirts, and I have a T-shirt store titled, or the website is storefrontier.com/wakethedead, and I have lots of anarchist designs, and I have lots of fine art photography that I've created to promote my show and to promote the ideas of anarchy and sovereignty and freedom. So please check those out. And thank you very much for having me.
Of course, yes. And I'm pretty sure I have all your links. They'll all be in the show as well.
Thank you.
Of course. And Theresa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, some people may know me from your show and my Patriot show, co-host with you a bunch. And we have another podcast together called The Spiritual Gangsters, which is a fun time. We just get to chat with cool people about their transformations and kind of waking up stories and things like that, which is really interesting. So people can check that out on all the major podcast platforms. And I'm also really active on Instagram. If anyone wants to connect, it's just my name at Theresa.Kassar.
Very nice, very nice. And Lux, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, co-host of the Occult Rejects, finished.
I felt bad. I was like,
No, but I'm glad, honestly, that we're talking about this subject today. I'm not sure. I guess it was Sean who initially brought this up, right?
yeah. Have to give. Sean was like, "Oh, I have a different idea." You know, it was like I never really heard anybody cover this.
And I don't have a lot of stuff to say, so I can't really carry a whole show about my personal topic of the four that we're choosing. But I'm glad that you've thought of this idea to have us all here, and we can all contribute with our own little piece.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Especially when it comes to the clothing stuff, right? Because when you're wearing clothing, you're essentially you're putting that symbol on your body. You're going through the day, which is a ritual. And, really, it's no more different than the magical principle of wearing certain clothings when you're doing literal rituals.
Totally.
You're wearing symbols, cloaks. So you're living that symbol out in our reality when you sport it.
And in the ritual, it like changes your mind in a sense, like it puts you in a different mindset because you are wearing it on your person. It's like it gives you a different energy. It gives you different confidence and sometimes different identity.
Exactly.
When you're in the ritual space and you're wearing your robes, you think differently than you do when you're out on the street wearing your suit and tie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and usually when you're like getting dressed, with what to wear for the day, you're selecting that because you feel it represents something about yourself or something how you feel that day or whatever, right? So yeah.
Very good point. Yeah.
So funny, like a couple years ago, after I got out of the Golden Dawn, I was just looking at all these different clothes that I have and these different I had a lot of band shirts, and I just started seeing all this crazy symbolism all over these shirts. I was like, fuck it. And I went out, threw all those away, and got just like white shirts, black shirts, white hoodies, black, like nothing with any symbol on it, because I just felt so weird wearing this stuff around because I knew what it really meant, so.
Yeah, I don't actually, now that I've been making clothes, I haven't worn anybody else's. I always wear my own design. It's just like,
Well, you might as well if you can.
everywhere I go, and
It's good promotion.
yeah, I guess. But I've seen, like, now that I've been learning about the occult and stuff, I'll be, I used to travel, and I'd be like parked at a stoplight downtown Philadelphia, and then there's some kid walking across, and he's got a shirt that's got a word backwards and upside down on a black shirt, and I'm like, there's one Satanist, there he goes, you know what I mean? And like, they're showing it to everybody, but if you don't see it and you don't know, then it's just like, oh, that's weird, it's upside down and backwards, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, so it's good to, now that you know the information, you're not going to wear that shit. You're going to see it wherever it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to a lot of the artists, because everyone's wearing the same shirt, so it literally kind of becomes a cult like following. You're wearing the name of someone else on your body.
Right.
You're part of their cult. You're part of their symbol. You're representing their brand. Yeah. They're branding you.
Like Crowley does.
It's almost going back to like when we were talking about Stephen King, like with like a living tulpa in a sense.
Exactly. Yep.
You got all these people walking around with like your design, your sigil, whatever your thing is. And it's kind of like, it gets weird
and
if you think about
like,
it that way.
They'll put a sigil on the front of a shield when people go out to war. You know what I'm saying? It like carries that energy of the masters that are telling the pawns to go kill themselves.
Yes.
So like Kanye or Jay-Z or whatever, these people are the masters in a sense of the slaves that are all like, yay, woo, sending money and going to concerts and all that. It's in a, and it satisfies their ego, and they can have their fantasy of being, kings among men or whatever. It's really, it's pretty deep, and I could talk about it all day, and this is great that we're here to talk about it.
Yeah, well, it's called branding for a reason, right?
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
for real.
Before I even get into I picked Kanye to do. Before I get into that, I didn't include the White Lives Matter stuff, but if Sean, if you don't mind, and because I agree, a kind of quote of what I think you had showed it to me first. Actually, I think you sent me something, and basically you were like, "Yeah, this is like a money grab."
Yeah,
and I was like, I think you're right.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they were like trying to put a nail in it in the coffin. They were like trying to, wield that. I don't know, like they didn't start the Black Lives Matter thing, but I think they were trying to put an end to it by doing that stunt. And this kind of like it gets put in like the magazines and shit, and it creates a wave. You know what I mean? I think they do have opposing, because he was hanging out with what's her name, the
Candace Owens.
Yes, right. And she just had a book, right? Didn't she?
She just put
was
something
promoting
out
it.
too. Good
Right,
speak
right,
on it.
right. So like all that is connected, I think.
Yes.
Well, and I think too, the whole stunt might have been around the time that Kanye is buying Parlor, which
Oh, right.
Candace Owens' husband is an owner.
Oh, really?
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I figured. It's just
Yeah.
another net to catch them in.
Yeah.
You know? Twitter's the left wing, and then they got to have a right wing.
Exactly.
And then, like, remember when Parler was removed from all the apps on all the phones because, like, somebody was mad at them and they canceled Parler, and now everybody's rushing in again, like, oh, great, Kanye's gonna make it all better, but they're still gonna erase it. You know, they can erase anything. Like,
I thought the app sucked anyway.
yeah,
Or
probably.
just identify you as a right wing extremist,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Because you
it's so
downloaded
dumb.
Parlor.
Like, I have a new label. I'm also a Republican. You know, like everybody wants to put a label on themselves so they can be corralled like good little sheep.
Just wear the brands.
Yeah,
That's it.
you're right. Follow the leader.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. I guess I'll start off first with some of the Yeezy's clothing that I found, and I went to his site basically and pulled, I think, all these off of his own site. There might have been some things that I may have used from like a different site, but it was because I was able to get a better picture of it. You know, I might have taken something off of maybe eBay, but it did exist on his site. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I don't know, like, you know, there was stuff that I could have maybe covered, but it's like I don't even know if this is his or if this is somebody selling it on fucking Etsy, eBay, saying it's his. I don't know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he definitely does have some like interesting clothing. I mean, Jesus right here. And you
Looks
got,
like Grateful Dead right there.
yeah,
The rose and the
whole
skull.
rose and skull thing. Yeah,
Right.
I thought the rose was very much like. I mean, I guess it kind of goes with the maiden, or I mean, the rose falls on a few different spheres actually.
And like we said, like we talked about in the other show, that Venus and the rose are related because of the path of Venus.
Yeah, I didn't want to keep pushing that sock, but it does go with that. Yeah, that sphere.
Yeah. And the teeth of the letter is like,
Yeah,
what
like
is that?
fangs.
Yeah.
Great.
And the rose, I mean, that's why that's so important, just from like an occult sense too, is that symbol is so important to rose accretions. That's where their name comes from.
Yes.
Rose accretions, meaning to rise from, you know, to do it for the alchemical process of becoming the new man. So you're rising. And also right there, he's calling himself Jesus. So
Yeah, I was just
God-
gonna say.
God among men, right? Jesus. We'll see with Jay-Z, he does the same thing. They just change a letter. It's representing, and from an occult sense of being a God among men.
Yeah.
You got this.
Susie backwards. The Susie in jail. A Susie is something that you don't want to be.
Oh, Susie.
Oh,
shit! I didn't even think of that. Yeah, holy crap, Susie backwards.
Yeah, because I'm just looking backwards because of the fucking Satanism shit and like Suzeey.
Oh,
Susie.
The
like,
rose is even more
Wait, Sean,
fitting.
how would you know that?
Ooh,
I know things.
I know things he says.
Wow, that's great.
Remember to
That's fun.
remember.
What
I
does it
just
say?
thought it was weird. Remember to remember.
Oh.
Wow.
Looks like a
That's a
backwards
spook.
17
That
on
was
his
zombie.
forehead. A 1-7
Yeah.
maybe. Fuck all this shit
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Alone.
That's definitely 17.
2 different eyes.
Well, one eye.
Yeah.
One of them's missing.
And it says hold the gate at the top in the triangular fashion.
With an X. What does that say? Jewin?
When I'm on the way,
Oh,
hold
that's
the gate.
W. Okay, WH.
Hold the gate.
It's like hold the
Yeah.
line. Weird.
Great. So the zombie's going to hold the door open for him when he's on his way down to hell. That's great.
This I just thought was fucking weird. She wanted to give you the cookie. What the fuck?
Wow.
What kind of cookie?
Just
Yeah, we all know about Crowley's cookies.
Oh
Wow.
God.
Cookies.
Cakes of light.
Yeah, right.
College drop. I mean, included this because he does have a couple of, bear shirts. You know.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said before, I'm wearing a shirt with a bear on it, so I mean, does it always mean something fucked up? Another one.
What? Oh, graduation. So what? He's ascending from the obelisk. Is that what that is?
Looks like.
It was just another weird one. I mean, he does have some that I'll get to that, in my opinion, are definitely a cult. But this is creepy.
The fangs again.
Yeah. Watch the throne.
Okay, boss.
Was that just him or was Jay-Z that tour? Watch the
Oh, I
Throne?
don't know actually.
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well, they did a lot of stuff together. They have over the years. I mean, they more or less came up together.
Yes.
What are those letters and numbers?
Yeah, on the side, I spent some time trying to figure this out. It was AR1331A. I tried messing around with shit like that, but I ended up finding, I don't know if this is correct or not. I have a picture of it. That's actually another press number for like an album of somebody else's.
Oh, I see.
And
what do you know? What album?
yeah, I have to. I had that as the first picture. I have to go back to it.
Okay.
As far as the picture,
But the picture in the center is weird as fuck to me.
Well, it really reminds. So, growing up in the church, you always see symbology of Jesus, right?
Right.
And this is a very common picture that I've seen before, but it's not. It's perverted. Usually you would have the face of Jesus, which would be shining white, and it would be his left hand that's risen up here. It's inverted. It's like a right hand, and then you have the two. You have the square within a square behind, and then squared the circle above behind that too.
Yeah, 2 squares of red and black squares. That's fucking Tesseract right there.
Yeah.
Double cubed altar. Yeah, let me see if I might be able to.
So that's the black sun,
Could-
Yeah.
and the black face on the
Right. So it's inverted imagery of Jesus.
right, like Satanism likes to do.
The original glorious church of God in Christ. New songs AR1331A. I want the world to know Jesus, and God's going to destroy this nation.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the B side is a little forthcoming.
And
It's a little edgy.
Ruby Shelton, with music by Sister One, some shit like that.
Looks like ORR.
Yeah. So that was that's what that shirt I think referenced to possibly.
Thank you.
Jesus, God wants you.
Oh, great. More
That's
roses.
comforting.
Yeah, again roses. And you know what? This is fucking wild, and I'm starting to wonder if they're also representing keys, because I ended up while I was sick, I ended up pretty much like I watched Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and tried to look for occult symbolism. And there was a part in Halloween where the chick, I forgot her fucking name, the one who's with Michael. I think she represents the maiden, and her address was she was coming out of a house by the number 8, and her father gave her the fucking key to go drop off at Michael Myers' house. And like her father was a real estate agent as well, a salesman. So I really do think he was showing Hode, then she was Netsock, and she had the key that she had to drop off at Michael Myers' house. So I'm even wondering if, like, to a point, is the maiden, like, there's certain, I think you have to sync the mind with the heart. Is that part of the keys that you have to use? You know what I'm saying? I know as weird as that sounds, but I started finding symbolism with females and keys just from those two movies.
That might relate to Freemasonry with the key on the ladder. The tracing board of Freemasonry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like the first tracing board or whatever. There's like the 3 pillars, then there's a ladder with a key hanging on a string, and that key is like care, and I think that's why it relates to the heart. and like the sacred feminine or whatnot.
Yeah, because even in when I was like going into Freddy and Michael Myers, they both they also had a lot of symbology that linked them to Janice, and I ended up showing it through 777 in symbology. Jan and the certain colors and even like their weapons were very much like the cross and a sword. Fucking Michael Myers doesn't have a sword, but he uses a fucking huge ass knife. And the sword goes along with Janice, and in Nightmare on Elm Street, he's just got blades for fingers. You know what I'm saying? And even things that associated with line 17 that was associated with Janice and Crowley's 777 book was even going along with shit that I was seeing in these movies. And Janice is associated with the one having the keys. So long story, what I was getting at is that I really starting to think that Janice, the keys that he has in his hand, could technically be the maiden, or that part. It's something to do with that, I think.
I think also Janice being the doorway, like the between the worlds. I think that relates to Nightmare on Elm Street because of the dream world and the regular waking.
That was even magical powers on line 17 is being able to be between both worlds.
Yeah, that's Janice's big thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it's like the dawn of a new age. They start with Janice, like January. It's like beginning of the new year. Right.
And even like the symbolism of Freddy Krueger having the red and green sweater.
Yo, I even showed at the end when the chick goes downstairs to go look for him. There's a point where she even goes and like looks down and like sees a fucking little hand knife, but it's open. A little knife, and then she like pulls over the piece of blanket that it's on, and then there's a cross. If you go and look at the symbology used for Janice, it's a line and a cross, or a sword. So you just showed me both.
It makes me think of the science card of the tarot, Thoth deck. The swords. I forget what number swords, 6 of swords or something, and it's the box, like the cube, being unfolded by swords, like dissection, and the cube unfolds into a cross, like the Rosy Cross is the same way. It represents the cube, and the cube is like a point where, like a point of something, a dot or whatever, it can expand in 6 directions. Like it can span up and down and left and right and forward and back, and that's what the box represents, is that expansion.
Yes, I know what you're getting at for sure.
Right. Everybody, they say, oh, the cube, and they're like Saturn and like whatever, but it's like the creation, like the anyway.
I know what you're getting at.
right.
Here's another weird Jesus, God wants you.
Huh. I wonder why the Indian chief.
Yeah. Got the triangles up here.
Right.
Yeah, cross on his chest.
Yeah. Get going. This one's just fucking weird.
Great.
God.
What's he doing? Looking down like that?
Very creepy.
Red covering his face.
Yeah.
What year are these from? Do you know?
This is on his site right now.
Oh, right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your moon matrix right there.
Yeah, that's what I thought, honestly.
Oh my God, for real.
Yeah. Different frequencies of light communicating to people on Earth, keeping you trapped here.
Or it could be the LGBTQ flag. It's zapping down from the moon. It's the moon's fault.
Yeah.
The moon's making the frogs gay.
Yeah, turning them into lunatics.
Yeah, lunatics, right.
Man on the Moon 3, The Chosen, Kid
Cudi.
Kid
He's
Cudi.
another artist. Yeah.
I am just weird.
That's weird that those are, they don't look like rocket ships. They look like bombs,
Yeah.
But also the way that they're traveling clockwise, counterclockwise.
It looks like an infinity symbol.
Oh yeah, that
That
even goes
the
back
mask.
to like that hieroglyph that we saw with Carl the Crusher. Remember how the spirals were going different?
Yeah.
Showing different electromagnetic poles or...
Yeah, the one around the Earth is the left-hand path, and one around the moon is the right-hand path.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just included this. I thought it was weird.
That's a nice idea. This is good. There is only freedom. I like this shirt. This is pretty good.
I am loving awareness.
Yeah.
Very namaste of him.
Very easy.
Sit on my lap. Oh man.
Yo, like, I should have did the other.
The holly is magic. That shit. Plus, like under the holly, what do you kiss or whatever under the holly tree?
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, holly relates to magic. Hollywood or whatever.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
The little berries can be either red or white, and those are the magician's colors. Like the red is the feminine, and the white is the masculine. You know, you get the blood of the starfire blood, whatever, along with the semen of the man mixed together makes creation. So like that's what magician colors are. Like that he's wearing this Santa Claus is like red and white, you know, and he's got like the holly right there. And he's like, take a closer look, guys. He's holding his glasses, you know.
Like come sit on daddy's lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they even make. Here, I can actually show it right now because
Don't show it.
No, I actually had a record in my fucking bedroom today. I literally have my shit set up on my bed, and next to my nightstand, I still have my old. Can you see it right here?
Oh, you got your
That
wood right
is
next to it.
Hollywood right there, from a holly tree. And
Thanks for showing us your Woody.
I used to use this. I used to use this sometimes.
You walked into that one.
They're supposed to be.
Well, you could kill a vampire with that shit. Keep
Use it for different rituals.
Yeah. Well, and it was supposedly. I even checked with the person that was selling them. There was even cut on a Wednesday on the hour of Mercury, and that's how it's supposed to be done actually with a holiday.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's because it's associated with magic. But all right, let me get
right. The magic of creation, like, yeah.
Never look at Santa the same way again.
Isn't it just weird? Swallow the hate.
Bottle it up so that it explodes later when you want to go burn the cities.
Oh wait, come back real quick.
Yeah, one eye again.
Yeah, one eye. I was trying to see if there was something in the difference in the letters at the top, why the W and the A and the E at the end have fire behind them. I just was looking at that.
Okay. Yeah, if he was trying to. That's good. I never would have thought. Yeah, fucking this. This is just weird.
$2 bill.
And that WCD shit was like really hard to figure out what that is. There is, I think, another rap artist who put out an album with that. Astro World.
Okay.
Wish You Were Here.
What does it say on the leg? Going up and down.
Wish You Were Here.
No, it was on the top.
Cacti. Cacsec.
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's the event where all those people died. Astro World was.
Yeah,
yeah, but on the other leg, that weird word with the K.
KAKTYC. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a registered.
Asterisk.
It's registered.
Maybe it's a brand collaboration.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm.
I thought this was interesting. The fucking one of this.
So that's the Muslim flag right there, right?
With the 6-pointed star like that?
Well, the
that's
star
what I thought was
with
interesting.
moon,
At least it's a
right.
6-pointed one.
That's
It's not a
like,
5-pointed one.
It's 6 points.
Yeah, I guess maybe they're combining the Israel thing with the Muslim one.
Well, I mean, yeah, the 6-pointed star is very important in magic.
Yeah,
Right,
it's stronger than the pentagram.
That again is the combination of the white and the red. You know, it's a.
Jesus is.
I mean, you even say it in a ritual, in the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, you say, if near the completion of the ritual, you give homage to the 6-pointed star.
That's true. That's the actual real, thing for Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know, that's what he's got on his shit. This one, I mean, of course, he puts himself on there, but
So that's his pedo bear buddy.
It just
yeah,
makes me
he's
laugh.
throwing up the fucking him and his Jay-Z song.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's all I
Shirt
got
almost-
on Kanye.
shirt that he's wearing there almost looks like Charlie Brown, but it's like blue and orange. You know, Charlie Brown had
Yeah.
a shirt with stripes.
Looks like a rugby shirt.
If it was a little bit lighter, it'd be very
Stripes.
Ukrainish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I had for Kanye. But he definitely some weird fucking clothing for sure. You know, and I think, in my opinion, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, especially the way he's been acting lately. Something ain't right up there.
Yeah, they retool him and they use him for different stuff. I think he's one of the he's been abused, and he's one of those robot people, SRA types.
I honestly think his mom might have had something to do with it. I know I've said that before. You don't hear
Right.
much about his father being around, but his mother was like huge, you know, like a huge, I guess, fan or, you know, promote, you know, help, you know.
Mhm.
So is she
Right.
kind of like the handler, kind of like the Scarlet Whore of his fucking, you know,
Maybe.
his
Yeah.
world?
Who knows? I guess.
And
Master of Occult. NPR. Oh, NPR is going to tell us the truth. Occult wisdom. This is great.
So yeah, Jay-Z, right? If you look into like how Jay-Z got started, so I really did. I was into rap growing up, and I remember that Jay-Z initially was really terrible. He would do like these freestyle battles against other New York rappers, and he sucked.
Yeah, it was Nas, right? Him and Nas would fight.
So bad.
Nas is great. Nas
Nas was
really-
awesome, and he would kick Jay-Z's ass every time.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, Jay-Z pops off and gets way more popular and has all of these hit songs.
Mm.
And so much of like the breakdown of his success, in my opinion, is because of knowing occult principles, probably being involved in some order. I'm not sure, but we'll decide after we take a look at all the crazy stuff that he's put out over the years, because this is nuts. So it says right here that the Blueprint 3 is Dan Brown's new book, The Lost Symbol. It's talking about Brown thinks he has a market cornered on Freemasonry and the occult. He had better watch his back. Mitch Horowitz, the author of Occult America, says that Jay-Z has a keen grasp of certain esoterica, especially in the music video for the new hit single Run This Town.
I'll just take their word for it, I guess.
Yeah.
He's exalted. He goes up on the pedestal. He knows, guys, because NPR says.
Yeah. And so if you look at the name, right, he changed from Jay-Z to Hove, right? You started hearing Hova.
Right.
Well, where does the name Jehovah, Hove,
Yeah.
where does that come from? It's an
Yeah.
ancient Hebrew term for God, Hova, or Jehovah.
Who takes sacrifice
Yeah.
from the slaves.
So this is another part of it here. Yes, there has very deep roots in modern occultism. The full expression is "do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." That was one of the key maxims of the British occultist Aleister Crowley, who, when Jay-Z appears in a hoodie with the phrase "out in public," that's exactly what he's referring. Jay-Z's Rockefeller clothing line also draws upon Masonic symbols, pentagrams, obelisks, pyramids, all-seeing eyes. I mean, a near obsession with Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin and the occult knowledge that they had.
Jimmy Page is really good, though. I mean, Led Zeppelin was pretty good.
Mm.
They're talented, even though they were like Crowleyites. But never mind.
They were
I'm just
talented,
gonna
yeah.
Well, they bought the house.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Bullskin Manor. And yeah. But I mean that, I think that's owned by a yoga school now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. They were rebuilding it after it burned a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
It's
and they're
burned
gonna
down like 3 times.
What
It's
kind of yoga? Do you know? What style?
probably Crowley yoga, because he did yoga before. Like he was in, he went to India first.
It's a way different type of downward facing dog, though. At that speed.
Shit.
Yeah, watch out, Karanzan might show up.
Yeah.
Run.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's funny. You said that.
God,
I forgot about that.
we're going to hell.
Oh man, this is fun though. We should have some beers, man. Anyway.
So yeah, it goes on to say that Horowitz says that Jay-Z takes a positive view of Freemasonry and occultism. Many of the country's founding fathers were Masons. He does not stop short of calling Jay-Z a actual member of a secret society.
Ooh.
So secret. He
It's on
tells
NPR.
everybody on NPR, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, with these guys, they don't care. That's part of the magic, is that they put it right out in front of people.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
So yeah, this goes into. That's why, when you see all of these crazy halftime shows,
Right.
for a Super Bowl, they're doing an actual ritual in front of everybody.
Right.
People don't even pick it up. That's part of the ritual.
Right. Super Bowl often lands on Imbolc, which is February 2nd, which is like a high holiday of the occult.
Ooh.
So like it being on that day, like the one where Katy Perry that was on February 2nd, and she did like Inanna ritual, like where they're like the candle mass, whatever.
Right.
Oh, when she came out on the tiger, right?
Yeah, she was on like the cat beast, like on the lust card of the Crowley's deck, the Thoth deck, being the horror Babylon and whatnot. And then later she was like, she like got a lit orb from like a dark place. And then like all these other people had little lit orbs, and they were like kind of swaying and dancing together. And they were like bringing the light up out of the dark, that's like the baby sun, being born. It's the first, like, it's the middle of winter, like right at, it's the middle of the season, much like how, Halloween is on the other side of the calendar. It's like the middle of fall. So
it'd be like almost a ritual right before the spring equinox.
Yeah.
For symbology of, like the feminine form bringing in new life, right?
Right. Yes.
The Super Bowl, the bowl representing the cup.
Right. Yeah. Of filthy, like like what do you call that? Like filth and abominations. The cup she's holding in the lust card. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we covered the Scarlet Whore, when we showed that, if I remember correctly, I think Lux, and I was like, holy fuck, I don't even know how he noticed it. The people that were holding the lights, I think there were people with like a few other ones with different colors, and then he like associated that with one of the spheres on the tree. They'll have different colors to all of them, and one of them I think was white with flecked something, and it was the same colors.
Yeah, pink.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck? I think it was like one of the Kethers maybe or something like that. It was weird, and it's exactly what it was there. It was white with a couple of pink lights flecked inside of it, here and there within the crowd. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, so it was definitely, even the lights, I think, were showing occult symbolism.
Right. And like, remember the wardrobe mishap with Janet Jackson?
Janet and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, she had a little baby son on her nipple.
That's right.
The baby son suckling on the feminine, the sacred feminine of the breast.
When you do if you do the Star Ruby, there's actually a part when if you're doing a pose as Isis and you're acting like you're cradling a baby, and you're kind of like holding your nipple to show that you are like, I guess, breastfeeding,
Right.
Yeah, so you actually do a pose like that inside the ritual.
Yeah, that's sacred. It's like having a kid and watching it happen. It's just like, wow. The mother gives life, keeps giving life. It's amazing and beautiful. No wonder they use it in their cakes of light. Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. Do what thou wilt. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so you'll see a lot of Thelemic symbols, a lot of Crowley stuff in his shirts and his clothing. Of course, the infamous,
His
all-seeing eye over the left eye. This is a very old picture too.
in that last picture, if you look at this where he's got the sweatshirt, he's got white. They're not really squares. I guess they're double squares maybe, but they're like white, and his head is tilted towards the white lit up squares, like the Freemasonry board. There's like black and white squares. Yeah. So he's like acting like he's like, oh, I'm illumined. I'm, he wears the dark glasses. It's
He's
weird.
enlightened.
Yeah, but he doesn't see. He's got the blinded two eyes. Maybe that's representing he doesn't see with the two, and he's using the one, the third eye. Like Neo in the when he loses his sight, he can see the Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a good point. Classic one here.
Yeah. I feel like I've actually seen that somewhere else, though.
Yeah. Of course, all-seeing eye. You see a lot of Freemasonry symbolism.
Yeah.
Obviously he calls the company Rockefeller. I mean, that's homage to Rockefeller, who was an obvious occultist.
Right.
So,
and the Eye of Providence is a good symbol. I just want to say that to people, because a lot of people they hear Illuminati and like but like the triangle at the one point at the top is like the is like above this realm. This realm is duality. So you got the 2 points at the bottom. So like your thoughts and your will comes from a place beyond this realm, right? And you manifest it with your two hands. You know what I mean? You put it into duality with your body and this. So like it's bringing the knowledge of the light of the oneness into the duality of this world. It's like an enlightened consciousness. Like the three represents like will and thought and emotion. So like if all three of those things are working together, then then there's power there and enlightened consciousness. And it's also the duality of the brain being brought together to the one point at the top is like where you have centered the two halves of the left brain and the right brain, and then you can have a contemplation. You know what I mean? Both temples working together to access higher realms of thought and understanding. So all of these things are good. But the Eye of Providence is like put on the dollar bill, and that's like a symbol of slavery, and it's like it's used in other ways by other occult orders. So I understand why people immediately get an immediate reaction of like, oh, that's evil. But I just want to say that and throw it in there.
Yeah. And when it comes to like, I would say guys like this, like Jay-Z, it's very obvious when you look at his life. He's creating songs promoting, negative behavior and being, tethered to this world, hoes, money. That's all that matters. Houses, chains, rocks, diamonds. That's what you should be focusing on. You never hear something that's like, hey, you should join your mind and heart and emotions together so that you can be a better person. Like, you don't hear that shit. So it's obvious that they're using these symbols as a way to show, like you said, how some occult orders use this symbol it's a way of saying, I have occult knowledge and you don't. Yeah. And here's what I'm doing. Here's how I've able to get the things that I have, because I know magic and you don't.
Really what they do is they know how to enslave others.
Yeah.
And they don't, the others don't know they're enslaved. So
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Masters of the craft. Wow.
What? Wow.
Oh, that's Freemasonry right there. That's all the word Freemasonry.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't even notice the snake until after I had looked at this a couple times. See it right
There's
there?
13 points shooting out.
Well, that's a solar number. That's a solar number. There's the 12 zodiac and then the one sun. Like,
And then you have here
Oh well,
the
then there's
pyramid,
also that
but it's lacking the capstone.
right.
that remember that star constellation that we even noticed when we covered Stephen King. What was it? Ophisk? I don't know how to say it right.
Ophiuchus.
Yeah,
That's
that
the
some people
13th
do say
zodiac.
that's the
yeah, that's the
13th
god
zodiac.
self with the two snakes. That's a very important symbol.
And you're seeing the snake on here too with 13. So maybe.
Mm.
Yeah. Some of the other ones I couldn't quite tell what they are, but I know this right here is obviously the handshake of Freemasonry.
Oh.
Special grip there.
Huh.
So,
Yeah. And then the book with a key on the cover.
this one over
Right.
here.
Yeah.
This one I couldn't quite make out what that one was, but
Kind of looks like a pyramid.
That's
from,
what I thought maybe.
yeah.
That's a,
Wow.
that's a good one.
So blatant.
And also the hands together like that. Can you go back?
Yeah.
It also kind of looks like a yoni.
Yeah.
So like and people are born again, they're brought through this. So like when the eye is going through there, like it's like they're being brought through the yoni another time because they've been born again into this new, order or whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's highly occult too.
I even think sometimes if you see the way snakes open their mouths, they look like that as well too.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Which, I mean, and it's, some people would say, an upright triangle would be the phallic or occult
Right.
symbol for male. But I
Mhm.
also think the way that this is particularly shaped with the hands and the symbolism could mean, not trying to get gross with it, but it resembles a vagina, right? So the same symbolism of the scarlet whore birthing things down
Right.
into our
Yes.
reality,
creation.
knowledge being born, coming through
Right.
across the abyss,
Right.
through into our reality,
That's right. Manifestation, the triangle of manifesting that. Yeah, that's why.
So there you go. You got everybody participating in your ritual with you.
Wow.
Who knows what's being said at this exact time, right? Who knows what that agreement of everyone doing that occult symbol at the same time, what energy is being invoked,
And they're all on drugs,
It's like everyone too. You can see a little kid down here, like he's like, what the fuck's happening now?
At least he's not giving his soul like the other ones.
Yeah.
Probably the only one questioning the whole thing is the kid.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Jay-Z and Beyonce gave birth to a beautiful girl named Blue Ivy in early 2012. There's some hidden meaning in that name that came to be attributed back to the Illuminati. The International Business Times published an article shortly after the birth indicating that Ilub, blue and ivy spelled backwards, is the Latin term for Lucifer's daughter. Another claim suggested by the website, blue stands for born living under evil and ivy stands for Illuminati's very youngest, although it's unclear as to why people think so. There are reports that it is because Jay-Z is rumored to be part of Illuminati for some time now. Just found that an interesting occult breakdown here of the blue and the ivy with the Latin term spelled backwards.
Yeah, I never heard that before. That's interesting.
Oh my God.
You got the butterfly symbolism up here, in my opinion. These different hand signs. I wanted to get what you guys
Well, it
think
even
that this
looks
could
like
possibly mean.
You got like the X-Men symbol up there on his shoulder. Doesn't it look like it?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
those
guess it would be
hand signs.
like a gang bandana, like blown
Yeah.
up, like the paisley.
To me, I mean,
I don't.
I've heard. I don't know if this is the middle finger, but it also kind of looks like sign language because I definitely know that this is a Y in sign language. But yeah, just found that one a little fishy.
Mm.
Got more of the rock-aware symbolism with the triangle. Another shirt with the back of one of his shirts. So you have the inverted two inverted words, like you were saying before, that you see it all the
Upside
time.
down and
Upside
backwards.
down, backwards, and then you got the 666 in the upper left-hand corner.
So blatant.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Just
Damn,
more of the
that.
same. And then there's a weird. So when I was doing a lot of like the research for Rockefeller brand, it always would bring me to another brand that it swore was like associated, but then you go to try and look up that brand and it's like it doesn't exist. I don't know, it's weird shit, but I'm not 100% on this one because it's supposed to be a partner brand, but I couldn't prove the partner brand, but still just
Maybe
wanted to
it's
include it for
maybe
shits
it
and
used
giggles.
to be, and they're just old websites that are still going.
Yeah, it's like it looks like older designs, maybe like 2010 time, you know.
That's pretty good. That white hat with the all-seeing eye right on the third. I would wear that hat.
Right on the
Pretty
third
good. Yeah. And it's white too. It's like a good light, you know.
93.
Is that an 8? I thought
It
that was
looked like an
83.
8, but if that's
Yeah.
93,
I was
then
hoping
it's
it
right.
was a 93.
That's all the way there. Yeah.
Is it? Let's zoom in. No, I think it might be an 8. I can't tell.
Yeah, it looks like an 8.
83 to 0.
Oh, yeah, then we'll see it down here. 83, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they did it wrong. They should have done 93.
Yeah, I wish.
It was a misprint, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's at Marshall's.
Yeah, that's the knockoff brand.
Just for the outlets.
Yeah. Just for the outlets.
Marshalls.
Don't talk shit about Marshalls, man.
So this is Jay-Z's website, Rock Nation. You can see more of the left eye, you know, forward. Always the left eye symbolism. We see
And the
that.
purple. The purple is magic.
It's very
a lot
high
of
up
times
there.
when you see that left eye symbolism, it's representing left-hand path magic,
Yeah,
you know, so
totally. And like purple is like Kether, you know, that's like the top of the tree, and it's the magician's color, you know.
Yeah, if you take the purple and if you take the blue and the red, also those two spheres,
yeah.
you
right.
put them together, you get purple, and that is considered like a higher arc of those.
Right.
So,
And
yeah,
that's
it's
what you're
very
trying
up
to do
there.
is to bring together the two pillars, you know, combine the opposites, like
Synthesize both energies.
right.
Yeah. That's
bringing
why we always
the two pyramid or the two triangles together for the 6-pointed star, like that whole thing.
exactly right. One for male, one for female, combination of the blue and red making. That's why we always see, you know, what is the royal color? The royal color is purple. And he's sitting on the throne, but two pillars, you know, the combination of the left pillar, the right hand pillar, you know, the color of royalty being purple on the throne being Kether, you know, the crown.
Yeah, totally. Another occultist dude who anyway, the drummer from Tool, Danny Carey. I know, like he only signs his name with a purple Sharpie.
Wow.
Only purple. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. He's way deep into the John D magic, Thelema, all that shit.
Right.
Makes me think of Purple Rain with Prince.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Prince died on the Queen's birthday, and the Queen wears purple all the time.
Yeah, like when we were doing all the research for the Royal Order of the Jesters, they always are using purple,
Yeah,
especially in their rituals for initiation.
that royalty.
And that's just one big allegory of like Shakespeare and crossing the abyss.
Right. And purple was worth more than gold back in the day with
Really?
The
Yeah,
dye to
yeah,
make it.
to make it you had to like have these little snails that came from the ocean, and like you know, that's how it was created, and it was very tough to get them and to create the color. So royalty were the only ones who could pay for it. So like, and Venetians were bringing it from the Mid East. So like Venice became very rich with their paints and colors and shit. And the royal family of England is related to the Venetians of the old days. We're related to the Phoenicians
I
of
was
Canaan.
gonna say Phoenicians,
Yeah.
Phoenicians.
Exactly. Yeah. Phoenician, who were also sacrificing their babies to Moloch, to the fires of Moloch, whatever.
Yeah.
So same shit, different day.
Same.
Yeah.
And that's real, like what you just said there. That's where you really start to see the divide of the black magic and
Right.
white magic. Is right at that time period too, because you have the break off of this occult knowledge, and then Phoenicians, like all the Moloch stuff it's the use of black magic, or
Right.
dark magic, whatever you want to call it.
And look at the Tempest, that whole thing. He's got like his magic book, and like, he uses magic to harness the angel Uriel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's very occult, and anyway, it's pretty out there. And the last song of Tool's last album is called Tempest. Also, I think there's a lot of information in that, but we'll talk about that some other day.
So yeah, this is all I had for Jay-Z, and I'll go ahead and
I
stop
think it was
sharing
pretty
my
blatant
screen.
with
now.
his
Is that a
stuff, at least.
boat?
Oh, yeah, what is that?
Is that like a boat on
Say
sticks?
Kingdom Come.
Yeah, to me, there's a lot of hermit symbolism in here.
Oh, right. Like,
To me, I can't get a very clear picture, but it reminds me of the Hermit, but it also reminds me of the Magician card from the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn deck. Very similar to that. And, you got your 4 cardinal points here. So it looks like this is maybe some ritual.
oh, like he's standing on a circle.
Yeah,
So that
that's-
would mean whatever's coming up from underneath is like below the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like a pillar or obelisk or some shit.
Yeah. I tried to get a better picture of this one, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But yes, sir.
So yeah, that's like opening the door to the hell below. Like that's Kingdom Come.
Looks like.
Because that dude's king is down below, right?
Yeah.
Archon.
And it's weird. It's like something, if you look, it's almost like he's got a wand, and then there's these different, looks like frequencies that are coming out of it. It's weird.
All right. Are we ready for
Oh
some
yeah,
news?
yeah. I was pulling this up. So yeah, I mean, if you want to start.
That's
Yeah.
a combination right there.
Right. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Do you want to start NY with the text message OVO1 picture? Thank you. Sorry, because I do this from my
Oh
phone.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay, so whenever I talk about Drake, like NY and I did a whole Drake episode one time, a little while back. But whenever I talk about Drake, I like to preface it with this text message. It's from a friend of a friend. So someone sent this to me in 2020, like earlier, and I've always saved it. So it's a friend of mine who received this text. And she's in the Toronto entertainment industry. So for those who are listening, the name is scratched out, but it says so-and-so used to work in the Entourage for the Weeknd and sometimes hung around with Drake. He says they are full-on Satanists. He left them 5 years ago. So whoever it was, I don't know. Someone who used to work with Drake in the Weeknd. There's eyewitness that they're full-on Satanists. So we can just go to the next slide after that. NY, sorry. So like OVO2. Not that yet. Sorry. So just like back the one after the text message. Thank you. Perfect. So OVO is Drake's lifestyle clothing brand. If anyone doesn't know what OVO stands for, it supposedly stands for October's very own, referencing that Drake's birthday is in October. I don't know if I buy that 100%. It does sound a lot to me like OTO. So,
May
I'll
I
just
say that
theorize. Sorry?
Satanist's biggest holiday is his own birthday.
Oh, well, there you go. Yes. Drake is along the lines of Kanye and Jay-Z in the sense that he makes himself very much a god. So like in Toronto, he is referred to as the sixth god because our area code here is 416. So sometimes Toronto is called the Six, and he's the sixth god.
Jeez.
Self-proclaimed. Yes. So yeah, I'm just gonna go out there and say OVO is a reference to OTO, considering that his whole clothing brand and culture lifestyle brand is focused on the Minerval owl. So the Minerval owl represents Athena and her Roman name, which was Minerva. So it's a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and the ability to see through the darkness. And in the OTO, I'm sure NY can attest to this, a Minerval is a seeker of truth, light, and wisdom. And that's like the first like thing you're called even before you're an initiate, right?
Yeah, that you could take Minerval, and that makes you like an honored guest. It's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out before you become a full member.
Right.
It's like the hang-arounds of the Hell's Angels.
The curious OTO.
Okay.
Just getting their feet wet.
But what maybe just real quick, the V replacing the T, that might have to do with the gematria of the numbers, like taking and replacing one with the other. But I don't know exactly what it would be. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, no, I think the play on letters definitely probably means something. I just don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, it would have a different value
yes,
later on, and I don't know what the values are. I just wanted to say that. And
yeah, I never played around with that. That's a good point. I do like the idea, Sean, of what you said of like him making it like after his own birth, you know?
Right, yeah.
So it's like maybe taking the principles of OTO and Selima and then like applying it to like himself. It's like my very own version, you know?
And isn't that what they're trying to become God? Like, isn't that their whole thing? Like to be
totally.
You know,
his son
and as a like whatever. Go ahead.
Drake's son's name is Adonis. Just putting it in perspective.
What an ego.
Right? It's just crazy. Oh man. So just for some reference, like Athena herself or Minerva, she's the goddess of poetry, medicine, commerce, craft, and of course music. So being Drake's
related to the moon, right?
Athena, no, I think that's more so Artemis.
Okay.
But I'm sure being female, she does have some lunar association.
I got that confused.
No, that's okay. Artemis the hunter, I think, is usually with the moon.
Right.
But just because you guys were touching on keys before, like and all so far seem to have key symbolism. Drake is big on like the keys thing. So if you want to go to the next slide, NY, it just blows up the Minerval owl. So like his logo is directly stylized after the Greek and Roman Minerval owl for sure. And this particular picture, which was from his song he had with DJ Khaled called Grease, the whole video, the music video is an owl flying through the air with keys in its mouth. And then it like goes into a Greek temple and like drops off the keys.
Well, that relates to the occult knowledge. So the secret societies use the owl to because the owl is quiet. Their feathers are serrated, so you can't hear them when they're flying, and they see at night, and their head goes all the way around. But they so if you go to like Philadelphia and you look at some of the masonry that is there, you will see over the arches there will be like an owl who's hanging a plumb line, which is like down onto an open book, these type of things. They're talking about like the occult knowledge being transferred, having the eyes to see.
Gotcha. Well, they see through the dark, right?
Right.
Being nocturnal as well.
Right. And like the occult orders, especially the Freemasons, they use that as a symbol. Like, look at the in the woods there, the Bohemian Grove, they got a big owl,
Yes.
Same thing.
They even do a full-on ritual in front of that owl called the cremation of care.
Right.
Right. Where they do a mock sacrifice.
Yeah, why would they
It's
need
right
to
in
do
front
that?
of that owl. And especially with the Bohemians, they connect this owl to Moloch.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's because of the fire. It's like a fire. The Moloch
Sacrifice.
Fire is the Holocaust of the child. It's a mock child, but I mean, it's like they're burning a kid. So that's what Moloch was, to burn your kid. Like in the Bible, it says, "Don't put your kid in the fires of Moloch." Like, that's what that's all about. So like, Moloch was the method of the burning. So like, it's still Minerva. the owl is still Minerva, and it relates to what we were just talking about. But they people like Alex Jones, or like the people that follow that kind of thing, they say, oh, that's Moloch, but they don't really. It's the Moloch is the practice happening, the verb of the burning of the kid. So like it is separate, but that it comes together at that ritual because they are burning a child in effigy, which is forbidden according to the current Yahweh laws. But in the old days, Baal is just Lord, and Yahweh was the Lord of the Canaanites that they would sacrifice the children to, and bury in the tulpas. So like, I don't know. It's and circumcision is a replacement for killing your firstborn kid. Like, whatever. They're still sacrificing their babies today. Like, but we don't need to go there.
That's a whole other show, right?
Yeah.
You know where I've seen this too, and I don't know how the fuck I realized it now and didn't realize it before. Me and Lux, when we covered the Skinwalker series, we were showing, I think, people that were associated with Bigelow, and a few of them went to Rice College. And I showed the logo because I thought it was interesting. It has 3 fucking owls that look just like that on the shield.
Oh, no way.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
With bugged out eyes, just like that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were real big on graphene, too, that college, studying graphene.
Right. Yeah.
Merlin had an owl.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying Merlin had an owl, and Merlin is big for the English people, their idea of Albion and like, connecting to the past of mystical kings and all that.
Well, even in Winnie the Pooh, the owl was like the teacher. It's usually associated with wisdom. And like, I think this particular photo is from an actual Greek coin.
Oh.
And then you have the AO for Alpha and Omega. Yeah.
AO is also a secret order as well.
Oh.
The AO.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
That's pretty high up there. You got to be within a couple of different orders to get up there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I wonder what are the leaves there? Is that a holly leaf?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I have no idea.
And it also looks like a Hebrew letter down there, like the pi symbol kind of at his feet.
Well, even the font is very stylized, right? Like with the E's. With like those 3 dashes like that.
Oh, I was talking about the like at the feet of the owl, like right in front. Okay. There's like what looks like the pi symbol, but then that kind of turns into the circle around.
Yeah, no.
I'm just wondering, do you think maybe that's the Hebrew letter there? I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
I'm dumb in that realm. But
no, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
All right. So if you want to go to the next picture, NY. So that's just to give people an idea of what the OVO branding looks like. So the way it started was that, like, basically they took the owl and then started wearing it on T-shirts, but really just among, like, Drake's entourage at first. So this is, like, the very basic, like, uniform that they wore. And I actually came across an article that said, like, for the uninitiated, OVO means October's very own, blah, blah, blah. But I found it so funny that they used the word uninitiated. Mm-hmm. So initially, only the initiates of OVO could wear the clothes?
It's funny, the guy on the left has a badge.
Right.
Kind of stupid cop, like, goddamn idiots.
Yeah, the brand is very clean looking, mostly. Like they do a lot of collaborations now, but like initially it's mostly just like the black with the gold. And black and gold is like all over Drake's house as well. And like the storefronts, so if you want to go over next picture. Yeah. So the storefronts very much look like Drake's house, which is all like white marble, gold, black. Like it's very clean, very simple, and very opulent. Right? So like literally this store is in a mall in Toronto. I think this is Yorkdale Mall, I'm pretty sure. Which is just like a whatever run-of-the-mill mall, but then you have this like crazy store in there. And the person who designed the stores is the same person who designed his house, which is his name is Ferris Raffauli. So he himself models all his designs after clean symmetry. Really likes when his styles can be mirrored. So again, that like as above, so below kind of mentality. His own personal motto that Ferris Rafali has on his own branding of stuff is Grand Vividis, which means life well lived. So again, this like Drake was the one to coin the term YOLO. You only live once. A variation of do what thou wilt, if you ask me. Right? Okay, what's
it's also like taking away morality. It's like living for yourself, being satanic.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. Doing what you want to the max, right? Okay, so these guys are the three founders of the OVO brand. So in the middle, obviously, is Drake, aka Aubrey Graham. Does not have a very glamorous name. As you guys didn't know, do you know what Drake stands for?
No.
Do right and kill everything.
Oh, that's what doing right is, huh?
Is it doing what you want? Is doing what's right, according to Drizzy Drake.
That makes sense.
And then the guy on the right, his name is Noah Shabib. So that his nickname is Noah. Yeah, Noah.
Of
40.
course, they got one of those in there. Yeah.
Well, so both those guys are Lebanese.
Lebanese. Okay.
They're Lebanese. Yeah. So Noah got his nickname 40 because he's a music producer, and in the studios he would sleep in the studio, like he'd work day and night. So he got the nickname like 40 days and 40 nights, like Noah from the Bible. So now they just call him 40. Noah 40.
That's a big stretch. I'm sure they didn't realize the occult symbolism behind that when they gave him that nickname.
Oh, well, maybe they did. And then the guy
geeked out on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They absolutely did.
Yeah, right. The guy on the left, his name is Oliver El Khatib. And he's like the mastermind behind the whole OVO brand, but he's like super private. It's really hard to find any information on him, but it did make the connection because I found one article that casually mentioned that Noah 40 went to this one particular high school in Toronto, which is a small boys private school called Royal St. George's College, which is funny because I went to a small all girls school, and that was like our brother's school.
Oh, really?
And I was like, oh shit, they went to RSGC. That's crazy.
Is it
and they're
British?
only like, it has a very British like connotation.
You think?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's tied to Freemasonry, honestly. Yeah. I'd have to dive into that though, to be sure.
Is like the British patron saint, and it's got the flag of St. George is the Knights Templar flag.
Yeah, the white with the red cross. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
exactly. He's supposedly the one that slays the dragon.
Yeah, okay.
It's his mythology.
Okay,
right.
Oh, by the way, that's the symbol the guy on the left is making right there. The black hoodie. Yeah. That's the same symbol that same hand sign he's doing right there is the same fucking one that was on that red shirt. That I was like, do you guys know what symbol this is? What this hand sign means?
Oh, yeah, Marilyn Manson had that on his shirt.
It was like the Hail Satan or like Taurus horns.
Ronnie James Dio made that popular. He says that his grandmother would say that to like ward off the evil eye. To protect, it's a protection thing if you're pointing it outward, but if you're pointing it inward, then I guess you are the evil eye. You're like putting hex on. It's like it's a Eastern European pagan symbol, according to Ronnie James Dio. Right. But I take his word for it. He's a smart dude.
Yeah, so I just thought it was hilarious that they ended up at the same high school, and that's how Noah and Oliver met. And then Oliver ended up working in fashion. He had an interest in clothing and fashion, I guess, since young age. And he ended up working at this store called Lounge, which is like a very, it doesn't no longer exist, but a very prominent store that was across the street from Much Music in downtown Toronto. So a lot of artists would go there, and I think that's how they met Drake, because at the time Drake was transitioning from Degrassi, Jimmy Lazy Legs wheelchair character he used to play on Degrassi. Weird. Transitioning from that to trying to be a rap artist, and I'm sure that's how they met, and they became friends. So it's funny, like Noah 40 is like the sound guy. He very much develops like the OVO sound, that like down tempo, like ambient kind of sound that's very Drake and The Weeknd like style. And then Oliver is like the branding visuals ideas guy. So they kind of started the brand officially in like 2008-ish by starting a blog, actually. So it was like the OVO blog. Oliver was the one who'd write all the entries, and they go off on like Drake's new music coming out. They talk about lifestyle stuff they were into. It was very like curated. So they are already kind of creating this like mood board, I guess, for like everything that they would launch thereafter, right? And then in 2011, the clothing started to they started to collaborate the clothing with like major brands, sports organizations. So OVO's very tied to the NBA. So in Toronto, being the Toronto Raptors, they also have done stuff with MLS soccer, Toronto FC, Blue Jays, and then their big first official collaboration was with Canada Goose, which I don't know if you guys know is like a really expensive outerwear brand here. Yeah. So their first jacket collab with Canada Goose was a $5,000 retail price tag. It had 24 karat gold hardware on it. Huh. And it was launched on November 13th, which is 11/13. And that really helped define the OVO brand.
Dude. It's all those drug dealers out there giving their money right back to the man.
Oh, 100%. That's exactly who wears the clothes.
So sad.
Not to say that's an example of the Toronto Raptors OVO uniform. So you guys are probably familiar with what the Raptors uniform normally looks like. It doesn't normally look like that. But what they started to do before they even had brick and mortar OVO stores was they do these things called OVO night or Drake night at Scotiabank where the Raptors play. So like I'd been to one of those just by chance, like Raptors tickets. And then it's like, oh, it's OVO night. So then everyone gets a t-shirt that looks basically like this with like the black and gold. And the Raptors wear that shirt for the night. They give away stuff. It's like a whole thing. So it's not just a clothing brand. It's very much like a lifestyle, and it's very married to the city. Like Drake is fucking huge here. I don't think you guys like understand.
That's right? A Freemasonry symbol too. That's an upright square.
Right? Yeah, it's like the square just pointing up.
There's North would even go with the night.
The refined square, like the proper does moral things, but it's funny that the guy's got 92. Yeah, that's like that's a failure number.
Well, I'm guessing
that's
it's just
not
that guy's
achieving
number.
93. No, I know, but still, they're putting him in the picture right there.
Or does it stand for 11? Oh, 9 plus 2.
Or that, but I'm just saying it's a failure of consciousness to only make it to 92.
True, and then the other guy is 2 plus 4 is 6, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, so the next photo is just an example of a more recent OVO collab with FC Barcelona, which is obviously a huge soccer team. So it was I don't know why would you do this, but in celebration of Drake being the first artist to hit 50 billion streams on Spotify, FC Barcelona will wear the OVO owl at El Clasico on Sunday. This is from like his Instagram, like recently. And then if you notice, if you want to go to the next picture, it's a close-up of the little patch, the La Liga patch on the jersey. So La Liga is the soccer league, obviously. But I was like, well, that looks really familiar. So if you go to the next picture, I'm like, why does it look like Agenda 2030?
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, just another example. So yeah, where did I go with next year? Oh, okay.
Funny. If you know anything about like being like, if you know anything about drug language, 6 Up is like the cops. You know, like
really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Because they got like a 6-pointed star, like whatever.
Oh shit!
Like
true.
the man. Oh yeah. If anybody's yelling 6 Up, that's because the cops are coming.
Okay.
Like, so this is 6 Up. He's like,
well,
it's
and
funny.
Speaking of a 6-pointed star, like Drake is half Jewish.
Oh yeah.
And also,
did he cut his mom or his dad?
His mother. So
he's Jewish.
Yes, he is Jewish. And where he grew up in Toronto, I mean, he's lived in a few different neighborhoods that I know of. One really close to me, and then mostly in his like teenage years, Forest Hill, which is like a very rich Jewish neighborhood. It's wealthy people live there. So yeah, it's just showing like that praying hand symbol with the 6 was on one of his albums. And the article title is Six God, Drake as a Religion in Toronto and Beyond.
Wow.
So that's the kind of
Drake is
following that he has here. Drakeism. And then another photo that I took off his Instagram from a while back. I think this is from his birthday a couple years ago. The caption says, "As wise as the old owl, but still the gold child."
What a goofball.
Again, you know,
goddamn goofball.
He very much has a lot of like Apollo kind of symbolism with the gold.
Like trying to be the sun.
Yeah, trying to be like the sun, the center of his own universe again, kind of thing.
Well, yeah,
He looks like a little
even
kid with the heart on his hair.
Yeah. What did you say? He looks like a little kid?
He looks like a little kid with the heart cut into his hair like that.
Oh yeah, the heart cut into his hair.
Do.
That was for his album Certified Lover Boy. Which, if you look at the album font, like logo stylizing, it looks like 3 6s. It was like a C and an L and a B, but like very loopy. Yeah. And I was like, there's a lot of 6s in that logo. Anyways, yeah, so eventually they did open a website for the OVO brand in 2012 and went on to have brick and mortar stores not until, I want to say, 2014, which of course started in Toronto. And then now they have stores internationally. And
the eyes are OVO, like on the owl.
Right? Yeah.
The eyes are the O's and then the V in between.
Yeah, that's very much how they stylize it all the time. They also sell his stuff at OVO Fest, which is like a huge music festival here in Toronto every year. And he's even done collabs with like Jordan, like the Jordan brand, through like Nike, stuff with Mike Tyson.
Great.
He did a whole clothing line for U of T, University of Toronto here. Which is interesting. I'm like, why would U of T want to do that with you? But okay. Apparently that's how popular he is in Toronto.
I'll bet you it's money laundering. I'll bet you serious.
I bet you one of his Jewish relatives like runs the university. To be honest.
A jacket for $5,000. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, just to give you an idea, not all the stuff is that expensive. So
sure,
like,
of course.
Sweatshirts is like $160 to like $200. T-shirts are like $68. Yeah, so it's like
I'll sell you sweatshirts for $33.
Right?
It's
expensive. It's definitely expensive, but I mean, like, it's not like outrageous. You know what I'm saying? What else was I gonna tell you about Drizzy Drake? Yeah, very much like that Oliver El Khatib guy is the aesthetic eye behind everything. So his idea was that the OVO brand would match the music, and they would like intentionally like drop music and new clothes like around the same time. So that's like a marketing strategy that they have. Right. He considers
a marketing ritual. You mean
marketing ritual? Exactly.
Right. Because you got to make money out of it somehow. Because everybody's streaming it and they can just hear it for free. So they got to scoop up money with their clothing.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course, right? What was I gonna say? Yeah, and there's like their whole Instagram. Actually, the OVO Instagram I didn't find like super occult-esque. There definitely is a lot of this kind of thing, like with picture up right now, like covering the one eye, like faces covered a lot of the time, that kind of thing. They did recently come out with the picture that's up now. Their Halloween drop, which was their fall winter collection, which I thought actually was super off brand for them because usually it's very clean looking, but here we've got like this Halloween like in your face horror.
Well, that reminds me of the Misfits.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry, but OVO like ovum. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, and that's like more the feminine. never mind. But I'm just saying, like, ovum right there. It looks like the O and the O are the ovaries.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
V
shit.
like the
The male energy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, the V is like the place like
yeah.
where the baby's gestated. With fucking.
That's true. I never thought of that before, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that. Sean. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I could totally see that for sure. Right. So yeah, they've recently come out with this fall winter designs with like Nightmare on Elm Street inspiration. The skeletons doing the OK/666 hand sign. What else we got there? And why?
What does it say on his mask?
I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know actually.
And the hand sign, it's not only 666. It represents being like when they put their eye in there, they're saying they're in the womb of the cult, basically.
Oh, okay, so Drake's Instagram is riddled with that everywhere. Okay. He's constantly putting that shit up to his eye.
Yeah, he's saying he's in the womb. He's like born again, like he's in the cult. You know, basically.
In the care of the cult.
Yeah, like Freeman talked about that years ago.
Okay. Yeah, this is just more of the fall winter collection. What is that face from? Do you guys know on the right?
Yeah, I've seen
that purple face. What is that?
Fuck, what the fuck is that?
Looks like Oogie Boogie from the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yes, I was like, I know this face, but like I couldn't place it. And sorry, Lux, I can't make out what the mask says.
Yeah,
I can't either.
Yeah, I'd have to try to look it up individually. But just so you guys get a picture, like they did surpass like over 50 million in revenue as of like 2020. So like this is a big money maker for them. But they keep insisting that like it's just like a piece of Drake to like give to his fans and give to the people. And it's like aiming for opulence, but staying grounded in their like organic, like close knit friendship values. AKA Satanism.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, what a load of crap.
Right. And then I just wanted to add this real quick. So we've got the OVO Owl. This is the Raptors practice facility, the OVO Athletic Center. This is literally on Lakeshore Boulevard in downtown Toronto. You will see this from one of the main fairways, Gardiner Expressway, like in our city. And it's a huge fucking owl. Overlooking like Lake Ontario. So they renamed it, this name OVO Athletic Center, in 2019. And according to the Raptors president, Masai Ujiri, he said, Drake and OVO is an important part of the city's landscape and the team's identity, and that it would help foster the relationship between OVO and the NBA and the Raptors and help propel them to a win. And then later that year, the Raptors did win in 2019 the NBA championships. I just thought that was very interesting. Yeah.
Suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was actually named that 1 year before COVID. It was like March 14th, 2019. And then everything shut down like 1 year later, almost to the day.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Right.
So yeah, that's Jersey Drake and OVO.
Fucking Drake.
That's crazy. I had no idea how important he was to Toronto in the sense of like he's literally a god there.
Yeah, and it's just like I get what the Oliver El Khatib guy is saying, where he's like, we want the sound to represent Toronto, because like the way his music sounds, I'm like, that is how the city feels. At least like the hip hop like culture here. You know, and it's very much synonymous then with like you've got little kids being like, yeah, go Raptors, go Drake. Like it's like one thing. And then he very much like Oliver was quoted in one article saying that fashion in Canada tends to become very Americanized. Like a lot of people almost want to like New Yorkify themselves. Whereas
Sick.
like they
Yankees suck.
Right? I like the Yankees too.
Go
but...
Red Sox, man.
Oh shit. Don't tell NY.
It doesn't make a difference to me.
No.
I know.
Oliver's idea was not to like ignore the like Canadianness. His idea was to embrace it. So that's why you've got like these like crazy puffer jackets and like all the fur and like boots, and then it's like embracing the like the northernness that we have, hence the like "We the North" became like the Raptors like slogan for like 2019 NBA campaign. And it's very it makes people here I think feel very proud if they're not aware of like what's all behind this shit. Right?
You know, St. George makes the English people feel very proud.
I'm sure he does.
Same type of thing, you know. It's
that's a
same
good point.
mechanism mentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's neat how they're like, well, it's not neat, but I mean, it's probably like an experiment in marketing to see what they can do, how much money they can make together.
For sure.
You know, because I'm sure the Raptors don't get many people watching.
Here they do, but I'm sure
sorry.
in the States, no, I'm sure in the States it's always like looked down upon, right? It's like,
Really?
Canadian basketball is boring, even though basketball is from Canada. Just saying.
Oh, it's not. It's
Yes, it is. It was started here.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Anyway.
Anyway.
It was started here by a Canadian professor.
Okay.
We digress.
Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty interesting, and it's some deep like that. Him saying he's in the cult basically over and over again is like, I'm one of you guys, and then when they combine, whoever owns the Raptors is probably in the same orders. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's like, I'm sure it's an experiment, and I'm sure. I guess I don't know how to explain it.
Well, I think even when it comes to a lot of sports, right? And I think a lot of sports are rituals. We don't realize it. Baseball, for example, we should do an episode on that one day because baseball is a literal occult ritual happening right in front
literally
of you.
Masonic.
I think tennis is too, believe it or not.
Yeah. Football, basketball. So it's like, you know, of course, if this guy's an occultist, it's more or less like he's trying to put his influence into an entire city. And then he's tying his brand, the owl, which is a raptor. An owl is a raptor.
Oh, yeah.
He's tying that in with the raptors. It's just one ritual.
Oh, shoot.
point.
Sorry. I totally forgot to touch on one thing. Sorry, NY, if you don't mind bringing up a couple more photos. The Nocta stuff.
All right.
Sorry. My bad. Circle back for a second.
Yeah,
so Nocta, Nocta, is another offshoot brand that Drake owns.
Nocturnal.
Yeah, so it's so you know how like Nike gave Jordan like its own thing? Like Jordan is its own entity outside of Nike, but it's like still like associated with it a little bit. So Nike gave Drake his own shit called Nocta, which is named after Drake's nocturnal creative process.
Oh, that's
just
what
like
it is.
the owl.
You do your rituals at night, right?
Probably. So very much you got it.
Go back to there's the 3 nails in the logo.
Yes.
That's in the Jesuit logo. The Jesuit.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 3 shooting stars, but maybe it's nails.
No, it's 3 nails. You know, the Christ was crucified, 3 nails and all that. That's in the logo for the Jesuits.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
the black and gold is Latin kings. I wonder if it's all Latin king symbolism.
Right? Yeah, we have that in other rap songs.
They got that. They got them everywhere.
Yeah, other rap songs like Black and Yellow, Bodak Yellow, like all those songs.
But then black and yellow also relates to voluntarism, anarchy. You know, that's a good symbol right there. But anyway,
there we go. What's next? What's the next photo? Oh yeah, just showing like Nocta is like more of like an outerwear brand. So it seems right now, or they're showing at least their outerwear stuff. So covering the face, which I guess serves a utility for covering from the cold, but in a very stylized fashion. And then is there any more Nocta photos? Oh yeah, there's Drake throwing up the triangle of manifestation.
I think, is that a glory hole right there? Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Oh my god. With him, who knows, right? And there's a shoe photo with the winged shoe like Hermes.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Nike, the brand itself, has a lot of that symbolism.
Right. Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then those other 2 photos, if you want to I could touch on them real quick. Sorry.
Which ones?
Those ones from the very beginning. They're like Yeah. So this one here is from Oliver El Khatib's Instagram. It's quite an old photo, so I don't know if he doesn't have a lot of pictures on there. So I feel like everything on there is purposeful. So this was his logo that they created for the Autonomous Media Organization. So you've got the A, an M, and an O around it. But I'm like, this literally looks just like the sigil of Saturn. And also the Auspice Maria, which NY and I talked about in our episode about the Queen. So, like, under the protection of Mary, it means. And I was like, why is he using this? I just thought it was weird. Probably in his case, it's more of the sigil of Saturn reference.
Well, it looks like a Vesca Pisces, which is also like the yoni and the, I keep talking about it. But I mean, like they get born again through there, and that's the, Vesca Pisces is the main symbol for occultism.
I even think that's
the
how
feminine,
the OTO Lamin is like the middle part of the Vesca Pisces.
Right. Yeah. The OTO thing is the entire thing is the Vesca Pisces, and then the little dove at the top is right where the clitoris is. And,
Oh shit! There you go.
Yeah. Same thing with Mother Mary. She's like depicted with the robes is like the labia, and her face
outer robe of glory.
Yeah. And her face is the clitoris.
Oh, I never thought of it that way before.
Sorry.
Oh no. And then this last photo, it was on Noah 40's Instagram. So in the caption, I think it says, "Congrats to my brother, K West 88, who is apparently, I just learned this recently, a Toronto graffiti and sculptor artist. And he very much is obsessed with phoenixes and firebirds and death and rebirth symbols, and also the 88, which I'm not sure if it's his birth year or if he just likes eights.
Heil Hitler.
Right? Yeah, HH.
Yeah.
Got a little UFO in here too.
Yeah, they do. Look at that.
Oh shit! So this photo, I think is
Bigelow.
I think this photo is in Abu Dhabi.
Best.
So maybe that's actually some writing.
Oh.
I don't know if it's writing.
Maybe it's something floating like a blimp or something.
Could be, yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting the things that they show on their own personal Instagrams and relating to the whole OVO brand.
Yeah, I'm gonna show an Instagram, I guess, if I can share a website while I'm sharing, but that'll be in a minute. Also, the person I'm going to talk about has masks. Yeah, masks specifically for children, which is sick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be talking about Celine Dion.
Another fine Canadian.
Yeah.
A fun quick story is I've actually been to one of her concerts before.
What?
Man, I'm sorry.
I swear to God. So I lived in Las Vegas for a little while, and I was going by like one of the casinos.
Oh yeah, she had a regular thing like Elvis did.
Yeah, her residency.
I think it was at like the Sands. I can't remember, but this guy was like, "I don't want these tickets. You want them?"
Wow.
I went in there. I spent about all 15 minutes before I left.
I don't blame you.
Good for you, man.
I should have fucking sold them. I don't know what I was thinking.
Nobody wants those too. Nobody wants those. Yeah, so she's doing some pretty occult stuff. So I'm gonna show a news a news clip here of what the news people think of Celine's new.
All right, I'm going to share it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Something really scary.
He's going to tell us this new gender-neutral clothing line.
Yes.
Singer Celine Dion, let them have those things.
Yes.
Is pushing. No one gets that joke except us. But
Okay.
what's going on?
This
I
line
definitely
is
don't
called
get the joke.
Celine Nu. I swear to God.
What?
That's it. Celine Nu.
So can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Celine Nu. There's three, but that relates to Sir Nunos, and that is the horned god, like Pan, of like the Druids. Okay, and if people can look that up, CERN in the particle accelerator that's named after Cernunnos, and that's the horned god like Pan, and that's that's the witches fornicate with that. It's a representation of the devil or whatnot, and so I just want to say that Celine Nunu is like relating to Cernunnos, and I can show you further how concrete my hunch is about that in just a second. Here, we'll keep playing.
And this is the website. It says, to liberate children from the traditional roles of boy and girl. So
that's Satanism right there. To remove our selfhood from us. And, we talked about that, NY, on your show. With it's an old way of conquering their minds and making total slaves is by removing their sex, through surgery, which is like really sick. And if you read Kurt Barker, he talks about high occult Satanists that plan on for the future of society to remove parts of their working body, much like circumcision. I know it's another, I didn't mean to say it twice, but still, like it's a ritual where you are giving up part of yourself, and that makes you learned helplessness, and it makes even more slaves. And so like they planned on having people remove their arms and legs for the future of our society. Anyway, so by removing your gender, and that's allowing for new things like transhumanism to take its place, so that's where they're pushing the society towards that direction. And it goes back to their ancient transgender cults of Inanna, Ishtar, and all that stuff that we talked about on your show.
Amplify the discussion about a humanistic education which is gender-free. She rolled out this new fashion line, and it's in conjunction with an Israeli fashion line, with this very bizarre ad. Ooh. She walks into a maternity ward, blows glitter around the room. All the boys are in blue, the girls are in pink, not after she does her magic. And then in one of the best...
Yeah, so it's like...
her magic.
Yeah, dude, magic, legit. We can show the video if you want. It on either side there was like blue and pink, and then she does the glitter blowing the breath of magic, whatever, and then it's replaced with these crosses, and it's like the black or white cross, and it looks like almost like the flag of Sweden, which also relates to Knights Templar or whatnot, but it's like neutral, and I think of like, oh, that neutral country. Oh yeah. Like, I'm wondering if that's why, but in any case, like she's erasing gender, and we can play a clip of her talking about it too a little bit.
And it's this big voodoo doll appears. It's a very strange line.
Look at what the children turn into. Look at what's in the crib now.
One's like sticking its head up. It looks like, wow.
These are monster demons in the crib with these babies.
Yeah.
Like if you think about like the in that 2012 London Olympics, they had these black cloaked figures like running into the kids in the hospital beds.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Hand side of your screen, see it?
Ew.
Okay.
Why is that enticing for a clothing
Let
line?
me show
Yeah, good question.
you the bizarre fashions, okay? These are gender neutral, but they're very dark. There are skulls in the collection. Why you would put babies in skulls, I don't know.
Look at that.
God.
Look at this.
This is way before COVID, I think, right?
Maybe so.
I think
should have
so.
Looked that up. I'm sorry.
Because I remember seeing this brand in stores when my kids were small.
Oh,
like,
you're in Toronto too.
Yeah, so like New, it's called, or New, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And I had no idea that it was affiliated with Celine Dion until like I started digging into like child trafficking shit.
Right.
But I always
probably
felt that
put
it was
the kid
so
in this
weird.
mask so that nobody can recognize him when they got him in the trucks. With
No, seriously, like I swear, like I'd see it in the store, and it would be in like really cool, like trendy, like kids stores,
like the Hot Topic area, but it's
and like crazy expensive.
Yeah, gross.
For like kids' clothes. So
we can look at the prices. I can show you the website maybe. And
yeah.
For like
This-
a T-shirt, it's like $75.
But it always felt so dark to me. I'm like, why would I want to put my little innocent baby in like skulls and shit
Yeah,
and like black and white crosses? I'm like,
right.
right.
Well, and this picture in particular, to me, this reminds me exactly of like a Golden Dawn style robe situation,
Oh.
or Masonic, right? Because you got the head covering, right? And then, of course, the mask, which is probably just the symbolism of everything going on with COVID. But this came out before COVID, right?
I'm pretty sure.
And I gotta check. Yeah.
It's like some
But then
Zodiac
take
killer
a
type shit.
take a very close look at where the crosses are on the knees. Notice that
That's where you have to genuflect.
this crotch area is not. That's not common for pants to look like that.
No.
When it's because it's representing the Masonic apron.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I was thinking that it's all baggy like that, so that you can't tell what gender the kid
That's
is.
possible.
And it's
too.
got that hair, the harem dropped crotch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a certain style
Very
of
weird.
clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens in a lot of these clothes. There's also some that have where it looks like almost like a diaper, where the legs come out the sides, but it's still draped real
Yeah.
big in between. It's really weird. We can.
It's called a harem pant. Yeah.
Okay.
bones.
Planned Parenthood special.
There's this all-seeing eye that's a big thing with
Is that kind of the
some
Antifa child?
secret groups.
What was that?
Dude, this Fox News guy, it's funny. I had to pull the clip, but so you got the black stars, that's prominent in these clothes, and the skull for death, and it's a new life. Why you got to put skull? It's like it's trying to like dim the shine of a kid. You know what I mean? Like a kid is like purity, and it should be celebrated, but no, it's like, stamp it down with that evil shit. Like, put it under the hole, So here.
Bizarre. And this group, this new, they have demonic.
Look at that little kid. What is he, like David Bowie? What are they doing? That poor kid is not happy.
Yeah.
They all look
designs with
miserable.
Yeah.
orange hoodies for kids.
I thought it was
And I thought that NY was going to talk about Kanye's got a line where he's all the people that they wear like drab, almost looks like burlap sacks.
Oh, I have
Like
to.
muted
I saw that
colors.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, and like all those people are wicked unhappy too, and it makes me think of like, you will own nothing and be happy, and like we're gonna. In the past, they would sell flour sacks with designs on them because the wives could take them apart and make dresses. Like that's why, because like people were so poor, and it's gonna be that again probably. Anyway,
Halloween
Very
costumes.
there, Sir Nunos.
Oh man.
That's
Look
the
at that.
tree god of the Druids, and it relates to the deer god Hern. Same thing. Like the tree, like I think it's the elm or something. The deer is the only one that can eat from the elm tree because it's poisonous to all other animals. So that makes the deer like exalted above others. It's weird, but people should look into that. But this here is a total representation of Cern Nunos. And it's like putting the kid in that Pan situation. And Pan is like, Pan is the goat god that's always fornicating with the nymphs, and it's like fertility cults, that same, like it relates to the same idea as what like Ishtar and Inanna, but this is also the horned one, the horned god that the witches fornicate with. They go off into the woods and they give their will to the horned god that come, the spirit of the forest and fertility and whatnot. So that's
Peter Pan.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole other show.
It's also sort of like the Pied Piper kind of idea, like leading the children off
Yeah.
into the woods.
Yeah, right. The witches eat babies, so like that's what they would lead them into the wood, like that story Hansel and Gretel with the witch has the house made made a candy, you know,
Yes.
in that whole thing, so that she can eat the children.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah. Oh,
How good is that?
Look at
What's
this. This is
there's a new one of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
from their Instagram
That
page.
looks like something out of the Wizard of Oz when the Lollipop Kids. Oh,
It's
no,
really
Lullaby League. came
well.
Wow.
Celine Dion and the founders of this
Look at that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So Baphomet is also Pan, but it's like opposite Pan. You know, it's except for instead of having goat legs, you know, with playing the pan flute, whatever, he's got like a human upper body. With the Baphomet, it's the opposite. You know, where the upper body is the beast and the lower body is man. You know what I mean? So it's the inversion of the
Pan.
fertility. Yeah, it's like even, you know, Pan is a good thing. It's a good idea, you know, and they're going with the left-hand version of Pan. They're going, so it's. I mean, this is some evil shit. What's the book that she's holding up? You know, and why? And if you look at like the Salem rituals, there were confessions of people wearing the heads of animals out in the woods doing their rituals. So, hello. Yeah.
brand explain themselves.
Even has
and
her
see it
hands
as-
in the same kind of situation as Baphomet does.
That's right. One's going up.
Yeah.
One above, one below.
Yeah, you're right. Salve coagula.
interview. Watch this.
Look at that. Okay, this is a clip that I can show you the whole clip of this later, or we can just do this.
Trying to shape the future.
Trying to shape the future. Oh, thanks, lady. You know, what do you want your future in the hands of that crazy person?
Of all human beings
Oh,
by
great.
saying find your own individuality.
Right. We're not going to tell you what's the truth. You need to find it yourself. You know, there is no gender. You don't have a self.
We bring a new order.
You hear that?
What?
Yeah, dude. We bring a new order.
As a
That's even written on some of the shirts and shit. New order. And so that's the plan of the future. The Crowley's idea of, you know, the new aeon and shit. It's going to be like beyond gender. They're not going to have gender anymore. And like that whole thing, like, look at, what's that dude from England that, it's like, Genesis Porridge, you know, that the one that's friends with Damien Eccles, like it's like a transgender magician, you know, that and it's saying like he's saying like this the future of humanity is to be transgender and have no sex. It's like they're trying to combine the two pillars and erase the duality. It's really sick, you know, because the truth is in this world, there's two genders. There's, you know what I mean? There's light and dark, you know, if it's all gray, then what's the use of being here? Right.
Right.
So, yeah. So they're making a new order with no gender. Thanks.
Into the world.
You know what? You don't know what they're going to become later.
What they're going to be, they might become a kitty cat.
And you don't want for them to have psychologiquement a problem of growth.
Maybe this is going to give them a problem of growth.
Yeah.
These goddamn retards.
Pretty sure that my kid is going to be way more traumatized from a fucking Baphomet hat than a Thomas the Train Engine shirt.
Yeah, dude. Well said.
And say, I'm supposed to be like that. I'm supposed to say that. I'm supposed to dress like this because I'm a guy, I'm a boy. I'm supposed to do. No,
No.
no,
No more boys. No.
you don't know.
They don't
I think
know.
that's what people are going to say about this line.
This is
Celine,
gonna
no.
Yeah,
No, this
let's
is going to
hope
go the
it's-
way of Murphy Brown. Okay? It's all.
Whatever they say. Yeah. Yeah, people say the Exorcist slams Celine Dion's gender-neutral clothing line as satanic. Okay. So that's all their opinion. We don't give a shit about that. So we can close that one. And let's see, I have more. we can play. Do you want to watch the CNN interview that's clipped from, or do you want to watch the video of her releasing the line and blowing on the children? Let's watch the video. Okay, I'll send that one over.
Hey, NY, do you remember? Do you remember in the iPet Goat? Remember iPet Goat? How the girl, she's walking into the classroom, and then the apple falls on the ground, and everything around her is in color because you can see the apple and the worm and all that. And remember, it all fades to black and white, and it's on a giant checkered floor, and everything becomes gray. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That just reminded me of what they just showed here.
That's like that's a bad ritual.
Right,
can't be tearing down the pillars of this world. We need to keep them intact, you know.
She's got like gold stars around her at some point. A whole bunch of symbolism of what you just showed too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stars. I think the glitter is stars too.
I'm gonna add. I'm gonna play it now.
Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm Celine Dion. Our children, they are not
They're the tastiest of tasty.
truly our children. As
We don't own them. Yeah, that's true. We're not allowed to fucking tell them that they don't have a gender. We're supposed to allow them to be themselves. Like, it's
are
really
all just links in a never-ending chain that is life.
Oh. How do you make life if there's no genders? These
Can't continue it.
You need to have like a working phallus and yoni, you know, like they have to, in order to make babies, instead of going to Bill Gates and buying one from a bag, you know, raised on like bio milk and shit. So I'm sorry. Yeah, that's also the future of the new order.
For us, they are everything.
Yeah, they're everything. You can drain their blood, you can drink their drink.
But in reality, we are only a fraction of their universe. We miss the past. They?
Those people are like, oh, there's Celine Dion. I guess we'll just let her in the room with the babies. Thanks, nurses.
Dream of tomorrow.
She's going to steal one. Obviously, she's got a bag ready to do. Okay.
We may thrust them forward into the future, but the course will always be theirs to choose.
It's a black goo.
Right. Now look at the gray. Look inside like the blue and the pink has been erased. Now there's the cross, and now look inside there's a demon there with his big eyes looking at the kid. There's these little black demons in the fucking crib.
Graphene.
Yeah. Black stars. I mean, come on. New order with a skull on his head. I mean, a dead consciousness. Thanks. Okay, we want the kid to have a dead consciousness.
I can't believe they called security. I mean, oh, come on, I'm Celine Dion.
She should be allowed in the private room with someone else's children. Of course, she's Celine Dion.
I'm not spending the night in jail. Holy shit. Guys, relax, easy. I'm Celine Dion.
Yeah, girl, and I'm Beyonce.
I'm calling my agent.
Yeah. That's the official video. So here we can. I've got some. I've got some photographs.
You know, Nu is also like an Egyptian deity as well, right? Nu.
Well, I know that Nuit is the one.
Yeah, there's also a Nu. That would be like the male counterpart to Nuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Nuit means night in French.
Nu is the watery one.
Also backwards,
Un,
like
yeah.
undoing gender, canceling stuff, you know?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
United Nations.
Oh yeah, backwards. Right.
Shit.
I'm gonna share my screen here and show the Instagram for Celine Nunu. Here we go with it. Window. Here, I'll just do entire screen. Okay, sorry. Whoa, hello. Okay. So this is Celine Nunu's Instagram. Now we see that the child is bald and doing the Hindu symbol with his fingers. This kid over here on the right has the lightning bolt, which is representative of Lucifer and lightning, you know, the being struck down to earth, you know.
So happens to be pointing at his, you know.
Yeah, at his crotch. Yeah. So I don't know who that dude is. He keeps taking their selfies of him everywhere in this. But there's this kid is pretty unhappy that he has to wear a picture of Celine. Celine's got over her left eye. Look at the you can see all the comments like gross wicked witch Illuminati. Yeah, dude, look at this stuff. And so on the picture on her eye, and it's black and white, of course, gray, right? And over her eye, her left eye is an upside down pentagram.
She's trying to have her Iggy Stardust moment or what?
Exactly, dude.
Guy from Kiss.
You're right. Iggy Stardust is that's some David Bowie shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they got this little kid dressed up like he's in a prison. Like, look at the picture, satanic, the comments, you know, pukey faces, poop emoji, horrible pukey face. This poor kid is dressed up as a prisoner with looks like common for prison uniform is black and white stripes.
Also, the star didn't have one of the Kiss members have a star on his eye.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
The drummer guy, maybe.
You know what's weird, Lex? If you think about it, when we had that kid on recently for the Native American, you remember the jester or the jokers are kind of the clowns for some Native American tribes, all dressed in that
design. Yeah, in black and white, just
stripes,
like that.
just like that too.
Yeah.
And they were the clowns kind of for like when the rituals were going on and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so this part of the shirt, it comes with a mask. So the kids can wear a mask while they're wearing their shirt. So they're intending for children to not be able to breathe.
How convenient.
Yeah, it's sick. We have pictures of her again.
She's got purple hair and a green eye.
Yeah, she's that's again with her inverted pentagram over her one eye.
Whose fucking kids are these? Like, this is just weird. None of the kids look happy. I mean, they're just like, and they're
New Order.
Just wandering around this weird studio with adults. It's just bizarre. Just that on its own, you know? Like, maybe it's their kids. I don't fucking know, but it's just weird.
Yeah. Look at this kid. Look how happy he is. It says it's got a picture of Celine with a crown written like a marker written over her head. She's wearing a crown. Follow me into the future. And the poor kid has these weird pants that are all baggy in the front, and it's got the stripes of the prison uniform. It says equality on his arm. I don't know if I can zoom in on that. I probably can't. There's something written underneath equality there. And then there's like pajamas and stars, black stars. The kid is upside down, so the stars are inverted. So the kid's got skulls on his sweatshirt. The kid does not look happy. He's
no,
like,
none of them look happy.
They look petrified.
Yeah, right. It's probably because they just been shocked by the electro. Look at this one. He's real happy. He's got his one eye blinking. Black Friday. Inverted pentagrams on this one. On his kneecaps. For the genuflection. So there's a lot of that. I guess there was other. I guess it's just buried. There's a lot of pictures. But this is pretty much okay. We are an inverted pentagram. The new star is here. Okay.
Wow.
The kids that they're picking too. It's like they're. I don't know. Does anybody else get the vibe that they're like sexualizing the kids?
Yeah.
I do.
A lot of kids' fashion photography is like that now, like Zara and stuff. Yeah, it's really disturbing.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these they have. I mean,
what the fuck was in that bag?
Right, that she was pulling out the glitter from. Is that what you're talking about?
Like, who
Yeah, there's
wants
like a bag
Celine
up there.
Dion's face on a kid's shirt? I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, it's you know what it is? Because for her, it just seems so off-brand for her to do this.
Yeah,
Like, she's such a like wholesome, like.
You'd think so, but then you listen to her
but-
talk. I've got another. I've got an interview where she's talking about like children a lot. She like, and then she like sings to people. Look at this poor kid. Jesus, inverted pentagrams, black star. I mean, look at the comments. What a sad baby, crying face.
Poor baby.
Dude, yeah. Let's hope they paid the thing a lot of money. So they got White Stripes there in there. It's weird. The homage to White Stripes video. Michelle Gondry. So there's Greta Thunberg, of course. In the Instagram, like, okay, more upside down star right near the crotch. Okay, great. Thanks.
Ugh.
Thanks for the zoomed in. That's weird. The marquee, marquee of hell. Raise boys and girls the same way. That's her own kids, I think. I don't know if they are. I forget. She's got 2 twins. She had kids with in vitro fertilization. She had lots of. Here's David Bowie, her favorite, of course. And these kids, they got letters. I don't know what this. It's just random letters. Rewrite the rules. Oh, okay. And this kid, it's
The kid's like trying to make the shirt say help.
yeah.
Just trying to rearrange the letters.
He's trying to rearrange it.
Yeah. Now this
Oh,
kid,
God.
The Black Blade, Somebody wrote, "You forgot the evil eye," shaking my head. Like Pizzagate, hashtag adrenochrome. People are going a little too far. I mean, it doesn't say adrenochrome on it. But I mean, look at these kids. They're real happy. The future, new order.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. They're all in their antipsychotic, psychotropics. So yeah, I guess that's it for her Instagram.
Wait, what did it say in the last picture there? The very bottom? New unites 2 forces.
Celine New, one voice shape. Oh, this is some people do. Sometimes they do that,
Oh, it's like
so that
supposed to
you
be
can
3
read
together.
it with all of them together.
Oh,
Yeah, but if you don't have the correct amount of images in there, it does this and it gets them all in
Right. Inspire you to free your mind by uniting 2 forces. Oh, fuck.
Right. Yeah. And that's how they do that. So I've also got the entire CNN interview, and then we can discuss, I guess, because I just wanted to show you guys everything. So yeah, this is their official CNN interview.
One of her many, many hits. And now, part 2 of our conversation with the superstar singer. She opens up to Morning Express about family and how her children impacted her decision for this new business venture, that she will be heading up a gender-neutral clothing line for children. Here's your second time at a front row seat with Celine Dion as she tells Chloe Mullis about her life now.
The first time I brought them to Disney, I thought they were going to go
to Disney. So this is a controlled. This Disney is it's a mind warp for kids, and that's another rabbit hole. People should all look into Disney.
Go for, the big superheroes. They were looking at princesses, and they all wanted to be, Minnie Mouse. And then I said, but what about Mickey? And then I'm saying to myself, you know what?
Because they're fucking girls, that's why.
I think they're boys, really, but yeah, she says that, oh yeah, they're
You know why it's okay? Because they're talking, they're finding themselves.
We may thrust that.
They're finding themselves. Oh, I am a cartoon mouse. Like, what the fuck? The gender of the mouse is one thing, but also it's a cartoon mouse. You really relating to that? And then mom is allowing that. Like, this is retarded. And then Disney gives them their ears, with the 3 circles to make the kid make the head part of the triad of Disney,
Them forward into the future, but the course will always be theirs to choose.
Celine wants all kids to find themselves, not just her own. And she hopes her partnership with New will help. The clothes in her new line are gender neutral.
Some parents might be a little worried or concerned seeing their child put on their heels or put on their nails.
I'm not here Celine Dion singer who's got 3 kids, who's going to tell the world right now, you should do it this way, you should not do that, this is wrong. Listen, I'm not doing that. Let them tell you what they feel like.
New.
And also pay $70 for a fucking t-shirt.
Oh yeah, exactly.
For a kid,
Yeah.
This onesies, they're gonna cost you $160.
Yeah.
It's about your kid choosing.
Has been around for years. Its founders created the fashion line out of necessity when they couldn't find clothing for their own kids.
Fashion has the power to shape people's mind. We're at Celine trying to shape the future of all human beings by saying, find your own individuality.
We bring a new order as a concept.
That's a dog whistle to these people, that like the high occult people, and like, oh, you're bringing the new order. Okay, good. I'll send my money to you. Like, you're one of us.
Into the world.
Into the world.
You know what? You don't know what they're going to become later. And you don't want for them to have psychologiquement a problem of growth and say, I'm supposed to be like that, I'm supposed to say that, I'm supposed to dress like this because I'm a guy, I'm a boy, I'm supposed to do. No.
She just said earlier, I'm not here to tell you what you're supposed to do or not supposed to do. And then she just goes on to say, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed
I'm gonna tell you what you're not supposed to do.
Right. You got a little boy? No. It's not a boy. I am the master. Yeah.
No, you don't know. Let people be who they are as quick and as soon as possible.
Okay. So let them have their solipsistic, nothing world of, just imagination, where their entire world can be just, imaginary. And other people have to bend to your will. So that's like, that's the future of, the new order. It has no gender. They're really pushing the transgender thing on the kids now. And, Celine is part of it. It's all, it's got a brand name, and they're really pushing full steam ahead. And it's got them Luciferian death cult imagery on this, on the clothing. And I just wanted to bring that to people's attention so they can see that these Satanists are like, in the open, just putting your kids in it. And it's not even for adults. I guess they're selling adult stuff now. I can show the website too, but I figured we could talk about it, and we've been going for a long time. I don't know if we're going to keep going.
I definitely do think that the sexual agenda is huge. Like, that's a key component into mind fucking people into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. If they can't know themselves, then how can they have any power at all? You know, and if they don't even believe that truth exists, you know, if they believe that they can create their own truth, then they're lost completely, because they won't be able to agree on what is truth with another person. So they're going to be off in a cul-de-sac in their own world, spinning their wheels, and the rest of society will be continuing on without them, you know. And without having gender, there's not going to be any new babies if they don't even know how to fornicate and make babies. You know, they're taking that away, and encouraging them to cut off their parts makes it so that they can't have babies if they ever, you know, come to their senses in the future without all the programming of the mind warped adults. You know, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to cut myself up. And then they're stuck. You can't go back, you know. Yeah. So it's eugenics in a sense.
And you always notice when it comes to like at least with the brands that we've covered today, and how, you know, none of it feels like when they talk about change and you can be who you want and just enjoy being, you know, an individual, then why does it all have this dark, sad,
right,
you know, weird feeling to it if it's supposed to be for inspiration? And I think like more people are like you were showing all those comments, more people are one line checking out all this crazy shit the same way that we are, and people are just making a big impact, I think, on a lot of cultural awareness on this shit. And ultimately, when they're trying to get rid of these genders and they're trying to get rid of a boy and a girl and absolute truth, the end goal, the end game is chaos.
Right.
That is the end game. Collapse the pillars, collapse order, collapse natural law, and make everything chaos. That's because in chaos, these gods on earth will be able to reign because they can disseminate what is truth and what isn't.
Right. Yeah. They can make their new order out of that chaos. Order ab chaos, you know, and that's the Solve. The coagula is the new order building, you know, and this is a time of destruction. You know, this is a time of transitions into a new thing, and they want to give it the stamp of their new thing. They want us to all follow into but I mean, if people are smart enough, we don't have to follow their way, and their new thing can be what we create, you know.
Yeah.
Based on truth and I, you know, I understand that I am a man and that is part of me, and I will be the best man the best man I can try to be, and learn how to do that and grow, instead of like being like, I don't know what I am. What do I do? You know, should I chop myself up? Like, you know what I mean? And
trying to make people delusional at such a young age now.
Yes.
Like if you can mind fuck them on what they think that they are and make them think that they're some mythical creature, or, you know, I can call myself whatever I want now, or we got, you know, fucking, you know, kitty litter boxes in schools now. You know, if you can get somebody to buy into that shit, they're fucking done. They're done.
Totally.
You can just keep feeding them delusions now.
Right. And what does a kitty do? A kitty says, please give me food. Meow. Like, you know, it's like, that's what the government wants. The government wants you to do that, you know, and it all comes down to human slavery, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they sell it as liberation and freedom, but it just becomes chaos and disorder, you know? And then you end up being more trapped than if you, it's ironic because they tell you that, accept yourself, accept your individuality. But by denying your gender, you're not accepting yourself whatsoever.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Cognitive dissonance.
And then oftentimes we'll be taken to the exact extreme of the other side, you know? So, there's no such thing as gender, but I'm questioning my own. But wait, now I think I'm a girl, so I'm going to replicate every trope of what it is to be a girl with long hair and like
but
that.
There is
no
gender,
that crazy
right? Like, what is a woman? Like, you know, that whole thing.
But you never see it. You never see it the opposite way. You don't see people being like, "What is a man?" It's only why is only like womanhood like so colonized.
It's funny because like the idea of a hue man is the color of man. We're actually mankind. Like man isn't our gender. It is our race, you know, and for them to like the Romans came up with the idea of a human so that they could give separate rights to slaves. That's what that is. So when people say I'm a human, they're saying I don't have the rights of mankind. I'm lesser than mankind, you know? So when women like negate man in the word woman, it's the womb man, like it's also mankind, you know. There is no separation, like it's the one that has the womb, but they're both man, you know. It's anyway, sorry you guys, but the way that they like train us to be slaves and to say that we're slaves, like, oh, I'm a human, okay, you're a color of man, so yeah, go over there. We are mankind and we are the masters of you, you know. Just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, they just teach us to hate what we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you nailed it right there. Yeah. Just hate it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You reject it. Reject truth.
And look at how powerful hate is. And everybody like runs their life on hate nowadays. Like look at politics and shit. It's just
Oh, hate and fear. Hate and fear.
Right. Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, who is it? Yoda
And then to make
about...
yourself feel better, you chop off your dick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Solve all your problems.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like just the tip isn't enough. He
had to bring it back there. I love it, Sean. I love it.
It's all torture, man. It's all torture, you know, and it like affects the minds of the people and it makes them slaves, makes them learn helplessness, you know. And so like if people elect to remove working parts of their own body, then they are thinking of themselves as bad. You know, like I am bad. I need to change myself. It's not acceptance of yourself. It's not affirmation of your gender. It's like a rejection of yourself, like you were saying earlier, Theresa. Like, and it's a rejection because of a hatred of yourself.
You'll learn self-loathing.
Yeah. And that's the most wicked thing to put on somebody, you know. And look at what they with the environmentalism shit, like, oh, human is a cancer on this earth, you know, they're destroying the earth. When meanwhile it's the companies that have been making all this plastic and all these pharmaceuticals. Like in reality, like humans have just been following along and doing what they're told, and
just been sorting our recycling, like,
yeah,
you know?
and they throw it all in the same bin anyway. Fault? Right. Meanwhile, yes. You could make plastic out of hemp 50 years ago, right. You know, and so I'm just saying, like all the clean, better options have always been there. Our acquiescence to the masters and their suggestions of slavery and destruction. And our self-loathing, we accept the self-loathing. Yes, I hate myself. Yes, I don't have a gender. Yes, I think I should chop myself up. And they let little kids think that. I mean, they don't let them smoke cigarettes, you know, but they let little kids chop it up. Yeah, it's really messed up. So anyway, that's all I just had to say that.
I think what we showed was really good because this is what we talk about over and over again, how, you know, participating in a system where like these clothes are getting pushed and no one's paying attention to what it is. It's a dangerous place when society doesn't understand the clothes and the sigils that they're putting on their own body, much less their own kids, right? So just showing, I think episodes like this are really helpful because who knows, there's tons of parents out there who just, I like Celine Dion, what, she's got a clothing line, all right, I'll grab a shirt for my kid, not thinking anything of it. Oh, hey, I like Jay-Z, I'm gonna grab one of his shirts, he's my favorite rapper, you know, pick any of them. And it's just so influential on society, and it makes a big impact in the magical sense. It's way bigger than people think. So I think it was a great subject to talk about. Honestly, I mean, we did a good job.
Yeah, that was a solid episode for sure.
Yeah,
totally. and thank you all for doing this together.
Oh yeah, it's my pleasure.
It was great.
Thank you. It was fun.
You guys want to real quick? You want to plug your stuff again, just in case?
Sure. Ladies first.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you. Oh, speaking of gender roles,
Yeah.
what chivalry. That's very nice. Yeah, so again, I am Theresa. You can find me on Instagram at Theresa.Cassar or on the Spiritual Gangsters podcast, co-hosted with NY Patriot, or on his show sometimes.
Yes.
And yeah, it's on all the major podcast platforms and YouTube. And I appreciate your subscribing. Yay.
Thank you.
You can find my show Wake the Dead on all the podcast places, and you can find it on Odyssey, BitChute, and Rumble. And you can download anything I make from Odyssey. They have the option to download there. So, and everything I do is free. I do take donations if you're so kind, and that's available on onegreatworknetwork.com. There's a button under I'm in the creator section. And please visit my t-shirt store where you can find some fantastic freedom-based sovereignty anarchist designs at storefrontier.com/wakethedead. And thanks for having me on, you guys.
Of course. Thank you for coming on, man. And yeah, our stuff is in our links are in the bottom. Our YouTube is back up. I'm sure most people notice by the time this is out. And definitely check out the Element Chat. We have that link in the bottom as well. And yeah, everybody's links, Sean and Theresa's, Lux's own show, the Occult Rejects, and my show, all in the show notes. Thank you all again for coming on. I thought that was a great time. I had a good one. And until the next one, everybody be well. Later.